She said, "I've regretted every haircut I've had for the last 10 years, until today." That was after cut number 4. And when you see the before and after, you'll understand why she actually got emotional. Here's what nobody tells you about pixie cuts after 60. The rules completely change. What worked at 45 will age you at 65. But what I'm about to show you, these 7 cuts are the cheat codes. I'm Sarah, and I've spent 2 decades perfecting these specific styles for mature women. Today, I'm walking you through exactly what to ask for, what to avoid, and the secret angle that makes number 4 so transformative. But here's where it gets interesting. Cut number 7 is the one I almost didn't include. My editor said it was too controversial. My mentor said women over 60 wouldn't go for it. But the clients who've tried it, they've gotten the most compliments of their entire lives. I'll reveal why it's so polarizing at the very end. Right now, though, smash that subscribe button because I'm dropping salon secrets most stylists gatekeep, and number 4 has a hidden technique that works specifically on aging necklines, something you'll never hear about anywhere else. Number 1 starts with the foundation mistake 90% of stylists make. Let's start, and whatever you do, don't skip to number 4 yet. Number 2 sets up the reason it works so dramatically. Pixie 1. The soft, textured crown. This is your safe entry into the pixie world, and honestly, it's where I start most of my clients who are nervous about going short. The key here is keeping strategic length at the crown, about 2 to 3 inches, while going shorter on the sides. What this does is create lift exactly where mature hair starts to lose volume. The texture at the top softens your features instead of sharpening them, which is the number 1 complaint I hear about pixie cuts gone wrong. Ask your stylist for point cutting at the crown to create that feathered, lived-in texture. This cut works beautifully if you have fine hair that's lost its body, because the strategic layering creates the illusion of thickness without any styling effort. Pixie 2. The side-swept elongated pixie. Now this is the one that teaches you why number 4 works so well. So pay attention. The elongated pixie keeps more length in the front, usually sweeping across the forehead or to the side, and this is crucial. After 60, our faces naturally elongate, and a blunt, short all-over cut can emphasize that. But when you keep that front length, you're creating a softening frame that draws the eye horizontally instead of vertically. This balances facial proportions beautifully. The secret is in the graduation from the longer front pieces to the shorter back. It should be seamless, not choppy. This cut is perfect if you've noticed your face looking longer, or if you want something that still feels feminine and versatile. You can sweep it different directions depending on your mood. Pixie 3. The wispy layered classic. This is timeless elegance in a haircut. The wispy layered pixie is all about those delicate, feathered ends that move with you. Instead of blunt lines, everything is softly textured and graduated. What makes this different from number 1 is that the layers are distributed more evenly throughout, creating a rounded, feminine silhouette that hugs your head shape. The wispy ends are especially flattering around the ears and nape. They soften the transition from hair to skin, which becomes more important as our skin texture changes. This cut requires a skilled stylist who understands razor cutting and point cutting techniques. When done right, it's incredibly low maintenance and always looks polished. It works exceptionally well for women with naturally wavy or slightly coarse hair. Pixie 4. The asymmetrical jawline pixie. Here it is. The one that made Linda cry happy tears in my chair. The asymmetrical jawline pixie is engineered specifically to combat what happens to our jawlines and necks after 60. Here's the secret. One side is cut slightly longer than the other, usually about an inch difference, and that longer side sits right at your jawline. This creates a diagonal line that the eye follows, which lifts and defines your jaw in a way that's almost surgical. The shorter side keeps things modern and interesting, while the longer side does the heavy lifting literally. The back is kept close and neat, which is slimming for the neck, but the magic is all in that asymmetry. It draws attention exactly where you want it and away from where you don't. When I do this cut, I angle it so the longer side also covers any soft spots under the chin while highlighting cheekbones. It's flattering on virtually every face shape, but especially stunning on round or square faces because it creates angles and movement. This is the cut I show to women who say they want to look current, sophisticated, and 10 years younger all at once. Pixie 5, the textured side-shaved pixie. Now we're getting bold, and I love it. This isn't as extreme as it sounds. We're not talking full shave here. The textured side-shaved pixie keeps beautiful length and volume on top and one side, while the other side is cut very short with clippers, usually to about 1/4 inch. What this does is create incredible contrast and modernity. It says you're confident, you're current, and you're not fading into the background. The textured top gives you softness and femininity, while the shaved side gives you edge. I've had clients tell me this cut changed how they see themselves. Suddenly they felt relevant again, like they still had style to offer the world. It's particularly fantastic if you have thicker hair, because removing that bulk from one side makes styling the rest incredibly easy. The shaved section also grows out beautifully if you decide it's not for you long-term. Pixie 6, the rounded volume-boosting pixie. This cut is all about creating the illusion of density and fullness, which is something almost every woman over 60 is dealing with. The rounded volume-boosting pixie uses strategic layering to build height and roundness, particularly at the back of the head where we tend to lose volume as we age. The crown area is cut with shorter layers underneath and slightly longer layers on top, which creates natural lift without teasing or excessive product. The sides are kept soft and slightly longer than a traditional pixie, which prevents that harsh, overly cropped look. The overall silhouette is rounded and full, almost like you have twice as much hair as you actually do. This cut works beautifully for fine or thinning hair, and it photographs incredibly well. When you look at yourself from the side or back, you'll see what I mean. There's dimension and shape where there might have been flatness before. Pixie 7, the ultra-short sculptured pixie. And here's the controversial one. The ultra-short sculptured pixie is cropped close all over. We're talking 1/2 inch to 1 inch maximum, but the sculpting is where the artistry happens. Your stylist uses the natural shape of your head to create contours and dimension with subtle variations in length. This cut is bold, it's liberating, and it's absolutely not for everyone. But the women who choose it, they tell me they feel free for the first time in decades. No more fussing with styling, no more worrying about humidity or hat hair or bedhead. It's wash and go in the truest sense. What makes it work after 60 is the sculpting. Without that precision, it can look severe. But with it, it's striking and elegant. It highlights your facial features completely, so if you have great bone structure or beautiful eyes, this cut puts them front and center. It's also incredibly practical for active lifestyles, travel, or anyone who's just tired of dealing with hair maintenance. The transformation nobody talks about. Now, let me tell you what really happens when you get the right pixie cut after 60, because it goes so much deeper than just hair. I've watched this transformation hundreds of times in my chair, and it never gets old. There's this moment, usually about a week after the cut, when my clients come back for a check-in or I see them around town. And there's something different in how they carry themselves. Their shoulders are back a little more. They make eye contact longer. They smile bigger. It's like cutting off the weight of all that hair also cut off some invisible weight they'd been carrying. One client told me she'd been hiding behind her longer hair for 15 years. She thought it made her look younger, more feminine, more acceptable. But when she finally took the leap with an asymmetrical pixie, she realized she'd actually been hiding, period. The short hair forced her to show up fully as herself, and that confidence was magnetic. Her husband noticed. Her friends noticed. But most importantly, she noticed. Here's what happens when you look in the mirror and actually like what you see. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You stop prefacing every photo with, "Oh, I look terrible," but you stop avoiding mirrors and dressing rooms or turning down invitations because you're having a bad hair day. Those sound like small things, but they add up to an entire shift in how you move through the world. And let's be honest about something else. Society has some pretty loud opinions about what women over 60 should look like, how we should dress, how we should wear our hair. We're supposed to be invisible, comfortable, practical. We're supposed to fade gracefully into the background and let the younger generations have the spotlight. A bold pixie cut is a quiet rebellion against all of that. It says you're not done yet. You still have style, personality, and presence to share. I've had women tell me their adult daughters were skeptical about the cut, but then saw their mom's transformation and asked for the same style. I've had women say their grandchildren told them they looked cool for the first time ever. I've had women admit they'd felt invisible for years, and a great haircut made them feel seen again. The practical benefits are real too. Think about the time you'll save. The average woman spends about 45 minutes styling longer hair. With the right pixie, you're looking at 5 to 10 minutes, tops. That's hours back in your week. Hours you can spend doing literally anything else that brings you joy. And if you're dealing with thinning hair or texture changes, shortcuts actually make your hair look healthier and fuller because you're constantly cutting off the oldest, most damaged ends. There's also something powerful about making a decision purely for yourself at this stage of life. Maybe you've spent decades with your hair a certain way because your husband preferred it, or because you thought you should, or because you were scared of change. Choosing a bold cut because you want it, because it excites you, because it feels right, that's reclaiming your autonomy in a really beautiful way. I want you to really think about this. When was the last time you did something with your appearance that was just for you? Not to look younger for someone else, not to fit in, not to meet some standard you don't even agree with, but purely because it made you feel like the best version of yourself? That's what the right pixie cut can do. It's not just about aesthetics, although looking in the mirror and loving what you see is a gift we all deserve. It's about alignment. It's about your outside matching how you feel inside. It's about showing up as yourself, fully and unapologetically. And here's the beautiful secret. Confidence is the most rejuvenating thing you can wear. More than any haircut, any makeup, any skincare routine. When you feel good about yourself, when you carry yourself with assurance and presence, people respond to that energy. That's what actually makes you look vibrant and alive. The women who get the most compliments on their pixie cuts aren't necessarily the ones with the most technically perfect cuts. They're the ones who wear them with total confidence. They're the ones who decided they were done playing small and started taking up space again. So, here's my challenge to you. Screenshot the cut that made your heart beat a little faster. Book a consultation with a stylist who specializes in cuts for mature women. And yes, that specialization matters tremendously. Bring your photo. Talk through your concerns, and if it feels right, take the leap. Your future self, the one who's been waiting to emerge, is going to thank you. If this video helped you see yourself in a new way, subscribe because I'm sharing more transformations, techniques, and truth-telling about beauty after 60. Drop a comment telling me which cut you're considering. I read every single one, and I love cheering you on. Now go look at yourself in the mirror and imagine the woman you're about to become. She's been waiting for you.